Welcome to your Dadogram Weekend Reminder. Last week we talked about knowing where you're going, that being the first step in building a strategy for your life. But today we're going to talk about the other half of that equation, something most people never seem to think about. You also have to know where you are now. Let me give you a little thought experiment. Let's imagine that you've been riding around in the back of my car, and I've got you blindfolded and actually stuffed in the trunk the whole time so you can't see out at all. And after a long drive, I stop, open the trunk, and pull off the blindfold, and I hand you the keys and say, "Take me home." Now, you look around and you realize we're literally in the middle of nowhere. Then you look back at me. What's the first thing you're going to ask? It's not going to be which route that you should take, and it's probably not what time do you need to get there. The first question you're going to ask is, where are we? Because without knowing your starting point, you can't figure out how to get to your destination. It's impossible. Yet this is exactly what most people overlook, if they ever do any long-range planning in their lives at all. They think having a goal is enough, but it's not. You also need to be brutally honest about your current position in life. If you don't know where you are, you can't plot a course to get where you want to go. There's an old movie called Stargate. I saw it for the first time when I was in college. And the main character explains how to find a location in space. Not just that, but how to chart a course through space. It's a great example of what I'm talking about here. And, well, I'll tell you what. Let's just go ahead and play that clip. I can't do better than they did at showing it.
Anytime.
I have some stuff. Look at. Just pass them down. You'll have to share them because I'm sorry I don't have enough of those. But anyway, okay, all right. We're obviously looking at a picture of the cover stones. Now, on the outer track, these figures that you would believe to be words to be translated were, in fact, star constellations. Now, these constellations were placed in a unique order, forming a map or an address of sorts. 7 points to outline a course to a position, and to find a destination within any three-dimensional space, you need 6 points to determine the exact location.
You said you needed 7 points.
Well, no, 6 for the destination. But to chart a course, you need a point of origin.
Except there's only 6 symbols in the cartouche.
Well, the 7th actually isn't inside the cartouche. It's just below it here, designated by a little pyramid with 2. Funny.
So you see, you need 6 points to mark a destination, at least in three-dimensional space. But you need 7 to chart the course, your point of origin. That's true in astronomy, that's true in navigation, and that is true in life. You have to know where you are and where you are going. So here's the lesson for today. To chart a course, you must know where you are and where you are going. So if you have a clear vision of where you want to end up now, that's great. Now give an honest, hard look to see if you can get there from where you are right now. Or are you going to have to take some detours along your path in order to be able to get there? For instance, if you don't have the grades for completing your degree yet, maybe you'll have to take on some additional courses to bring that GPA up. And if you didn't get the promotion at work you wanted, why not? You're going to have to figure that out. Finding out the reason is understanding where you are. And once you know that, you can add a detour on your map to get whatever you missed on your journey so far. See? All right, folks. This was a continuation of a quick recap from what I talked about in Dadogram 3 almost a year ago. And next week, I'll add a third part of the equation, where we'll talk about what happens when your plan gets interrupted, as they always do. Because no matter how well you think you've charted a course, from where you are to where you're going, life has a way of throwing obstacles directly in your path. And if you want the full version of this lesson with all the stories and the details, you can find it in Dadogram number 3, How to Work a Strategy.